Yeah, look, you're right. It is a step in the right direction. This is, better than the alternative, which is nothing. But I think in the context of what was very hard fought, very detailed negotiations that led up to the TPP, participating countries other than the United States, I think, are rightfully skeptical of this. Look, Joe Biden has his domestic politics, his domestic constituency he has to consider, as all foreign leaders do. But I think in part because of the difficulties he's having domestically with other issues, he's chosen not to really take something on that would bring the formality that could ultimately lead to an agreement. But anytime, multiple countries in a room talking, that's a good thing. And potentially could lead to, let's just say, more concrete steps that could really make a difference. So I don't want to take away from the effort. It is directionally a good thing, but I also don't want to sort of be overly optimistic about where this leads.
Right. It is a framework. That's what a lot of the partner countries keep stressing. But I want to go back to your point, and it's a very important one. How is this being or going to be perceived domestically in the US? And given economic uncertainty, given the inflation uncertainty, do trade deals, are they needed? Do they build resiliency in the longer term? Or if it does mean greater two-way market access, and greater competition, then what are the implications for local business and job security as they are perceived in the US? And is that going to be a tough sell for President Biden?
Well, this is why it's not an agreement. This is why it's not something he's going to take to Congress, because we're right now in the United States in a time of, very strong populist and even maybe isolationist sentiment. And that protectionism has made it very difficult for the president to do anything on trade in Europe or in Asia. So I don't know that sort of, American labor interests are going to be threatened by this framework. And it's especially the case because if you look at sort of the opening of this, President Biden and the administration have, been talking and emphasizing labor standards and environmental standards, which, historically have been, real hurdles in the negotiations of real agreements. Countries outside of the United States have, made compromises on labor and environmental issues in order to get greater access and reduce tariffs, across the participating countries. So we don't have the second part of that deal now. As far as, where it can lead, directionally, it's a good thing, but I don't think you'll hear President Biden talking about it that much when he gets back to the United States. I don't think it's a coincidence that on this same trip, he went to Samsung and talked about investment in the United States. He went to auto manufacturers in Asia and talked, I think Hyundai, and talked about investment in a new plant in Georgia. So he's used the trip really to talk about foreign direct investment in the United States. And the trade framework is a little bit of an add-on that I think was directed at constituencies and audiences outside of the United States.